In this video, we're going to teach you everything you'll need to know about how to play better with your teammates in CS2. As the next competitive player, I'm going to give you the rundown of what you need to play better with your teammates. And with all these points, there's going to be one that is the most crucial of all, so make sure to stay tuned for that one. How's it going, folks? Zepcast here once again, bringing you another video here on the SkinsLuck channel. And this is the first video as part of a series where we're going to show you how to get better at playing competitive games. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Zep, you're very new at CS2, so what have you got to teach? But as someone who's played competitive first-person shooters for 10 plus years, I've picked up a number of skills that are transferable across all esports. And surprisingly, they're some of the skills that players miss out on the most. So we're going to get in, we're going to play a game, we're going to break down how to play better with your team, and then after that, we're going to go into a case battle on SkinsLuck. Leave a like and a comment if you want to see more content like this on this channel. Let's get into it. Okay, folks, so we are in the warm-up phase now. We'll be getting into the first round here on train at any moment. Now, playing with your team, guys, there is a lot of the obvious stuff, right, which I'm going to try my best to avoid this time around. Because those of you out there who play CS2, you know a lot of this stuff already, right? You know about what rounds to save, what rounds you should go in together with good weapons, and you know, they're important points as well. Don't get me wrong. They are things you should do, and depending on moments, it is vital that you follow them. However, we're going to go into more of the fundamentals here in terms of the mindset of how you play with your teammates, right? Because I have seen so many times people will go in and even do the right things on principle, but they just don't pull it together when it comes to doing the right things in regards to rotating with their team, playing the timings right, and understanding the flow of a game. And I'm sure a lot of you CS2 players will understand that there is very much a flow of momentum to these games. Okay, so we're going to go for the op, and then one of the things that we're going to do with this round, again, to play it simple, is that we are going to go with our teammates. Now, sometimes when you're playing with the op, you'd almost be better going sort of the opposite direction of your teammates to make sure you have locked that extra lane down. But I just want to make sure that I'm playing tight to the team at the moment here, just to make sure that, you know, if I get into a bit of trouble, I can back out and the teammates will be there to, you know, save the day, so to speak. And probably going to need to save the day on me right now as I eventually get sniped. And yeah, well, what a great round for me. But I do think sniping is one of those rare circumstances where you can play as an offshoot from your teammates, and that's also a very important point to consider as well, is that playing well and playing together with your team isn't always going to mean just sticking by them the whole time, no questions asked, right? Because if anything, you're going to be a hindrance. I mean, you even saw it there, right? Picking up the sniper, trying to go down a very, very crowded lane with the team. It made it harder to get the shots off. It made it harder to play the timings because the enemy team was already ready to take pop shots against other players anyway, so you weren't catching anyone with any sort of element of surprise with the timing. So I'm playing a little bit off here. We'll see if it works. We catch a push over towards B. We do. We're going to pick up one, but I think that one is all we're going to get. We are very weak. So if I can get that one, rotate out with my life back to a safer position, wait for my teammates to cross down, I've made life a lot easier in defending this push. I am taking my time here. Another one in the bag. Another one in the bag. Hello. But you see what I mean by playing kind of for your team and with your team can be different but the same at the same time, right? The team have the weapons they had. They were comfortable. Oh, and there actually was one more. Told how much I'm tuned in this game. But playing the opposite side of your team can be hugely important because, again, I stifled that push. I took a player down that was able to take two down on the defense, which allowed my team the option to be able to rotate in. So even though, yes, it meant that I was able to get MVP, it meant that I was able to play for a couple of kills, which obviously was nice. It worked in such a fashion where it gave my team the opportunity to roll around and get the job done on their end, when obviously then I would eventually die. And even if I did die there, I'd have made their lives easier in the process. Of course, it is still very important to make sure that you try and stay alive. And you know, that is something as well I'll actually say has proven once again. I'm still at a level of this game where speaking and playing at the same time is not working out too well for me. But another huge point is the ability to be able to stay alive for your team. And it's something, it's probably been across all esports as I've played, my worst feature that I've really struggled with is just staying alive, not throwing your life too early. Because playing in certain games, even if you're able to take out two before you drop, that isn't always going to benefit your team depending on how that game is going. Sometimes you literally just, that presence of life that you are going to have by not dying is going to be so influential in how the game plays, how lanes are being pushed, and how confident the other team is in taking you on, that it can be a game changer. So even if you're not being as active on the front of pushing forward and getting the kill, so long as you are staying alive, you are consistently making yourself a nuisance. I would say it's better to be I don't know, say 9 and 6 than it is to be 13 and 13 in some circumstances, right? Because staying alive as well, it also means that your other teammates, again, they have more of a chance to flourish because they're not going to be as worried about you and as worried about being in 1v2s. A 1v2 versus a 2v2 scenario, for example, is a completely different mindset that the enemy team has to deal with. Even if you are that player in that 2v2 that is lower on the numbers, your presence is making the difference. So I am having a terrible game here, but we are going to try and rotate through with the team again and play off the back of them. And again, this is a learning experience for myself on how to actually do this properly and better on CS2, but it's very important across all first-person shooters, again, just to play... Wow, I can't hit my shots today, but just to play off the back of your teammates, cover the angles, bait and switch for them. I mean, for those of you who may watch the video that went out yesterday, I had a terrific moment with the teammate. It was the first video in the From Noob to Pro series where we kind of just bait and switch in the window, and it works out to a treat to pick up 2 kills. And it's just playing those timings correctly with your teammate. It's such an important skill to be able to utilize. So what I'm about to tell you as well, I think is, in my opinion, one of the biggest things to take into consideration when playing with a team. And this is going beyond just a game-to-game aspect, but this is like if you're a competitive player, you're out there, you're a solo player, and you're trying to look for a team to kind of get going with and try and go on a bit of a competitive grind with, and, you know, genuinely improve and you know, maybe try and go and actually achieve something, not just playing with a random team in a game. Okay, folks, but back to the point that I was trying to make, right? This is getting a little all over the place here, but the biggest thing that you need to keep in mind in terms of like finding a team and playing with them to try and get better, to kind of move forward in that esport competitive grind, is the ability to be patient with what you're working on, right? I have seen across so many esports teams, especially in amateur, right? It's ridiculous in amateur, that shopping and changing non-stop all the time, it is lethal to your ability to be able to work well as a team. Yes, it gives you the opportunity to play with different styles of player, understand how to play with them. It can be a way that you can improve, but I have seen so many times where it's not really a way people are using it as a way to improve. They more so get an ego and think that I deserve to play it better than this, or I'm carrying, or I'm this, that, or the other, or my teammates should be playing around me. And they don't learn how to adapt to a team and the unique scenarios that within. And you need to consider as well, like playing with a team, you're going to get a lot of hidden benefits from that will make you a far better player than someone who's just able to frag out themselves. I mean, yes, you know, you'll get the bragging rights, you'll get a couple of clips of being able to play well from time to time. You'll be a hot property here and there, but in terms of like trying to make it all the way, trying to really sell your name as a top player, people are going to figure out, coaches are going to know what you're about, they're going to see that you don't work well as a team, and you're not going to be a prospect that people want to engage with. One thing that I have always believed is that a good team of good players is always going to be able to trump a great team of all-stars that have no chemistry at all. I've always been of that position. If you've been playing with your team, like if they're a team that you can figure out to trust, you know, we're going to be able to improve together, have similar goals, and you want to go on a bit of a journey together over the space of a year, even 2 years, you're going to see that team to be able to pull so much more out of the bag as opposed to a team that is full of like players that maybe on the individual level are better, but are constantly chopping and changing after every 2 months because one player was away for a weekend and had a bad game, or was sick, so he had a week of bad games because he had a flu and he didn't lock in, and then they decide, okay, let's actually swap out and get our other player in because this is unacceptable. Like, no, you do all that swapping, you're going to hurt in the long term. So look, I know every context is different in terms of how people are playing with their team, whether or not it's going well, whether it isn't, but I implore you that, you know, if you've been playing with the side for a little bit and it's a side you thought you were going to go all the way with, and you know, things have gotten a little difficult, you're wondering if you should move on, you feel like you're the better player and you should move on. And look, a lot of the time that can be the case. If you're the best player, you also need to be able to, you know, sow your seeds in other places, you know, and gain that experience moving up the levels. But I do implore you just to take that second thought and try and put ego to the side for a second, because as well with an esports, look, it's hard to admit, but we all, I think, need to have swallow a little bit of pride and admit this. We all have egos in this space, you know, even the amateur players. You know, we sometimes will think a little bit more highly of our position than perhaps we should at times. So, you know, just keep it in mind. That's all I'm saying. And yes, how I died there was absolutely horrific. No, we're on a little bit of a comeback here, I have to say. I haven't really been focused too much on the game. I mean, clearly, look at my KD. I'm kind of focused more on making points, but 9 and 7. Is this another train comeback? Oh, didn't expect me to come that quick, did you? Oh, heard you. And this is a draw. Damn. Hey, listen, we nearly pulled it back. I finish up with 19 kills. I mean, a brilliant second half. Pulled it back a lot more on my end. The team, though, in the overall, I think, played very well in the back half. Again, MK, huge. Playing really huge. But we were able to actually pull that game back. I think we had a really good performance in the overall. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy how we gelled together as a team. In the end up, we went for a little different push towards A, went on a little bit of a split. It didn't work for them over at B, which left us a bit isolated on A. From there, just got picked apart. But a good game nonetheless. So now, folks, we're going to go over to SkinsLuck, but I hope you got the points I was trying to make there throughout the game. Again, apologies if it's a little bit all over the place. First time making a video quite like this, trying to give you that sort of educative piece while actually playing the game. It may be a little bit jumbled, but let me know what you think of it, and let me know how you think we're going to do in this upcoming case battle over on SkinsLuck. Right, folks, so we're on SkinsLuck. We're over on the case battle section. We're going to create a new battle for ourselves. Remember, folks, if you want to get 3 free cases over on SkinsLuck, you want to check out what the website is all about and have a lot of fun playing CS2 and using this website as well alongside it to be able to get skins and coins, then make sure to check out the link in the description, and it will be pinned in the comments as well. All right, someone is taking us on. Let's see how we go. Okay, so far he's in the lead. Not a great start. Oh no, he's pulling ahead. He's pulling ahead early. This is not good. Not good. 4 cases down already. You're on the 4th, and this is... I need a miracle to pull this one back. Don't think it's gonna happen. Oh wait, it does happen! Sawed off! 94! Let's go! Yes, what a comeback right in the death. All right, we got one. 10 cases we're spinning. It's a marathon, not a sprint, this one. We don't panic. I have a feeling it could be a lot of the same, maybe. Or actually, no, it's going to be a little bit of a variety. So far, we're in the lead. I'm not counting my roosters yet, though. This is dangerous territory. So far, not so bad. Still not too bad. Again, I'm not going to be happy until the end. Pulling away a little bit more now. Okay, 3 left to go. Come on. Not so bad. Og again. Oh, he's caught up a little bit, but not many left to catch up. We get the same. Come on. Surely in the bag. Do we get it? We get it. 1 more to go. That has to be it. Has to be it. There we go. And we actually win a little bit more back. We could pay 340 for those. We get back with 385. And top of his, we get 513. Nice. So folks, check out SkinsLuck. Plenty you can do in this across this website. You got case battle, coin flip, and all the ones in the house: case opening, crash, blackjack, roulette, upgrader, plinko. So much to do, so much to see. Make sure to check it out today.